Hi Alt. So today we are going to talk about building your doTERRA legacy, understanding how to build and grow a transformative doTERRA business. So over the past few months, I've had many of my direct leaders and those in their downline coming to me saying, Tia, will you please teach me? Please guide me, mentor me, teach me. And I want to help everyone. And as short of time we have in our 24 hours of a day, it's hard to hit everyone in my team. So today I really want to connect with you all and say, let's talk about building that doTERRA legacy for yourselves, for your families, for those that you are seeking to empower around your community, around the world. So let's get into creating your why. Your why is truly something that is the fuel of your business. It is what is the driving factor. So discovering your why provides you with the fuel and determination to aspire to success, reaching personal and organizational goals, and will give you that extra spark to inspire those around you. And why you need that extra spark is because if you can't light yourself on fire to continue being motivated and to strive to succeed and to strive to do better, then how can you hope to empower anyone else to do the same? So comprehending your why will give you a positive perspective during your journey to reach your goals. Like I just mentioned, you have to have that fire to truly push through those hard moments and those hard times to truly succeed, right? So happiness and success are found when you have a grasp on why you are embarking on this new journey. Am I going to tell you that having a doTERRA business is always easy? No, you will not hear me say that. Am I going to tell you that it's rewarding? Yes. So let me share with you my why. So my why really started with my husband. You see him in this picture. So Ryan was in the military, and at 23 years old, he was medically discharged and literally had said to him by his sergeant, "You have nothing else to give. Go on and live your life." Because the military saw him as pretty much useless. Although he sustained his injury during the military and his service in that time, they wanted to take no accountability for that, and no assistance was really offered to us when we were trying to find our way through the muck. So the assistance that they were able to offer was 12 synthetic medications. So he was put on these 12 medications, and us, not knowing any other alternative, although we knew of natural ways, we didn't know how to really implement them or apply them in our life. So when Ryan was put on these medications, he began to black out and have serious emotional upsets. And he suffered from conditions of thinking he was hearing things and not being able to remember where he was, severe memory loss. And all of this was sustained through his traumatic brain injury, right? So we went through years of trying to balance him out, of trying to understand how to live this new life that we had been given, right? Because everything we go through in life can be a blessing, but in the muck of all of it, it doesn't mean it feels that way. So while we were going through this and the severe emotional upsets, the abuse, the miscarriages that I was having through all of everything that was going on physically and mentally in my own body, trying to just understand and comprehend what was going on and truly find that better way, In the meantime, we had our 2 children. Now, this was not without much trying and much pain and sorrow in that as well, because also during this time, Ryan was still on those 12 synthetic medications, and we still had no idea what to do or what to truly, the next step was, right? What the next step was for us. So once our daughter was born, 9 months later, we found out that our son was born. So at that moment, or we were pregnant with him. So when that happened, it was a shock because we were told we would never have children in the beginning, and then our daughter comes along and then our doctor says, oh, absolutely not, you can't have any more, your body just won't do it. Well, then our son came along, and like I said, I was pregnant 9 months later. So that was a shocker. Well, when our son was 6 months old, we decided that something had to change. We could not do how we were living life anymore. We were under the threat of losing our home. We were still providing Ryan with those 12 medications and not knowing what to do. We had been going to monthly doctor's appointments, and at the last doctor's appointments during this phase and this time, when we were doing this, we found out that Ryan's liver was 50% damaged. And because of this, his doctor looks at us and says, I'm sorry to tell you, but there is no way that Ryan will be living past the age of 40. I was shocked and very upset. And I looked at that doctor and I said, you think I'm going to have lived through what I've lived through with my husband and allow life to take him from me at 40 years old because we chose to have him on 12 medications? You better think again, because that is not going to happen. So with all of that going on and all that chaos and everything, we went ahead and took a vacation, right? And it was really, we were in run. We wanted to run from everything at that time. So money was hard and health was hard. So our relationships were suffering, and not just my husband and I's, but our families, relationships all around us. So we took a 5-week stay on Hawaii. We bought one-way tickets over and said, we'll come back when we can. It was quite crazy. So we did. We went and we stayed 5 weeks, and during this time, one of my really good friends calls me and says, Tia, I want to talk to you about this. I found something that is truly helping my family, and I think it's what you need. And she was very new into doTERRA at the same time and had been using for maybe a month, right around that. And so I said, well, I don't really want to hear anything about it. I already am doing this other MLM business. I don't really want to get into another. And she said, well, let's not talk about that. Let's just talk about the health benefits it can be for your actual family, right? So we get back and we start getting settled into life again, and my friend comes over and sits down on the couch with us. And she's sitting there with Ryan and I, and she says, I really think you need to try this. So I said we were having financial struggles, and literally at the time I had $175 in my bank account. We were under the threat of losing our house, my car, these things that are important things, right? We were losing it. We had our family, and we were barely putting food on the table for ourselves. And all of this came about because Ryan, with his injuries, was not able to work out of the home consistently. And I wasn't able to go out of the home and get a job because of our 2 babies. Ryan could not be left home alone with them. And although we had some support of family, we didn't have enough support for me to actually get a job. Okay? So when it came down to it, we needed not just our health changed, we needed our relationships supported, and we needed financial support as well. So I looked at my friend and I said, okay, let's do it. And we tried it. Okay, so we signed up with the family physicians kit, so $150, and then tax and everything. And it literally almost tapped our bank account completely out. But I can openly say to this day, it was the best decision that we have ever made. And why that is because not only is my family fully supported now, financially free, and able to buy things without credit, able to buy things with cash, able to assist others, able to start our dreams and create truly what we are wanting, right? We are able to do that because of what doTERRA has provided for us, because of what we have fought for in our life, in our relationships, in our businesses. We have this freedom now. So when I talk about your why, I want you to find a why so compelling that on those hard days, you still will get out of bed, make your contacts, and help build and transition other lives. Because that is truly what doTERRA is all about. So some tips for finding your why would be exploring your opportunities for success. Define what success is to you. So I want you to look into what is success for you. Is it financial freedom? Is it being able to buy a new vehicle, a house, helping others, whether in your community or local, around that area, or out globally? What does success look like to you? So I want you to think about who or what inspires and motivates you to take on new levels of success. So who are those in your life, books that you can read, those that you can connect with? Who can inspire you and motivate you? So pinpoint key factors in what inspires you and what makes your why very deeply and personal. So like I said, I want it to be so driving for yourself that you, on those bad days and on those rough days and on those days that everyone's telling you no, that you get out there and are so passionate about what you're doing because you know what it's bringing to you. So I want you to find 5 pictures that represent the feelings of success and put these pictures in places where you see them often. So if you work a 9-to-5 job, I want you to either get a board, if you're comfortable with that, and pin your pictures to it, your vision board, create that. Or if it's not such a comfortable environment to do so and be so vulnerable in, get a photo album. Put your dreams, goals, and desires, put your why in that photo album. Make sure that everything that's in there can communicate with you, doesn't have to with others, but relay and communicate back to you that you are actually breaching that and building where you're building from, right? And creating that new space, because I want you to live in that moment as if it's already here. That is the quickest, fastest way to create your dreams, goals, and desires, is to live in that moment, to understand that whether you may not physically see it right here and now, that you already possess it. So setting goals provides you with direction on your journey. We all need direction. We need that path. We need that roadmap to show us where we're going, right? So I want you to make sure your goals are measurable and attainable, right? We encourage you set long-term and short-term goals that align with your why. So what that means is that you not just set these year-end goals, but you also set these daily goals and weekly goals, and then getting into your monthly goals, right? So this approach will give you that extra motivation and desire needed to achieve each and every goal you set. Like I said, it keeps that fire burning because you can always see those things happening. And I want you to take time to celebrate. Celebrate those successes, whether they're great big or great small. I want you to celebrate them. So what is your year-end goal? I want you to take notes of where your year-end goal is. If you are right now an elite in doTERRA and you say, it is May, I want to be a diamond by December. That is doable. It is doable if you will put in the action that it takes to get there. So short-term goals are great milestones and give you little victories along the way. Like I said, celebrate. Short-term goals also help you determine where your time and efforts should be spent on a weekly basis. So if you have a goal of reaching, say, silver, I want you to look into what it takes to reach silver. Is it just overall volume? Or do you actually get to have people underneath you that you've empowered and are assisting build the business? So I want you to look into that. So I want you to set a 1 month, a 3 month, and a 6 month goal. And if these are something that you would like to share with me, absolutely get back to me and send me an email, connect with me and say, Tia, these are my goals. Can you assist me? What is your guidance? Because in the end, we all need assistance and guidance, no matter what our rank is, no matter what our title is, no matter how much success we've had. We all need that. So once you have determined your goals, it will benefit you to make smaller daily goals that will help you reach your short-term milestones. So placing little reminders of these daily and short-term goals in locations that you often frequent will help keep you motivated and inspired to achieve them. So like I said, you can put post-it notes around. You can keep a little journal and re-journal every day what you're affirming you're creating. You can keep that photo album near you and put your little goals in there and journal your goals that way. There's many ways of keeping yourself accountable, right? You can do so through accountability partners. You can do so through self-maintenance and setting an alarm and saying, I am doing this at this time, I am doing this at this time, and this at this time, and sticking to it. Because truly, the only one that it is affecting the most will be yourself. And you need to be accountable for yourself because you deserve it. You deserve to show up 100% for who you are and what you are creating. So in setting goals, make them SMART. SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Specific: a goal must be clear and well-defined. Vague goals lack direction. Make it as easy as possible to get to where you want to go by defining where you want to end up. So like I said, be specific, know where you're going, and live as if you are there. Does that mean your goal is to be a millionaire and you are buying all these things and you're creating all this awesome transition in the world, right? Yeah, of course. But at the same time, I don't want you to try to live on the budget of having a $1 million lifestyle when you're truly not there yet. Have the mindset of being there, even if you have not obtained it just quite yet. Because like I said, you will get there. So measurable. Include information such as dates, times, and quantities. Without a way to measure success, you miss out on the celebration that comes with knowing you have achieved something. So keep those little goals, keep those monthly goals, those weekly goals, those daily goals, and those yearly goals. And I want you to celebrate each time you've succeeded in one. And celebration can be maybe taking a 15-minute break and going for a walk, or starting your day out with that each day, to celebrate each day because you know you're a true success. I want you to honor yourself, because celebration is truly part of the fuel of what keeps you creating and setting your goals and reaching your goals. So actionable. An action-oriented goal begins with a verb that directs what you will do, right? So use verbs that indicate doing something rather than wanting something. I do not want to hear you saying, I want to reach silver, or I want to reach platinum or diamond. I want to hear you saying, I am a silver, I am a platinum, I am a diamond, because you are. But only when you will claim it and deem it as yours is when you will truly start to see the magic happen. It's all right there, but you have to first deem it as yours and deem yourself as worthy, because honey, you are. You just have to say you want it enough. So realistic. If you set a goal that you have no hope of achieving, you wear self-confidence, right? You let go of your confidence. You really are forgetting that you are worthy. So I want you to have that goal and have the faith and hope in achieving it, because the knowing is there. And I want you to wear your self-confidence as a beautiful badge, because it is. It is yours. Your confidence cannot be taken away by anyone unless you give them the power to do so. So hold on to your own power. Know that you have everything you need to reach your goals, to reach what you want to do. Being time bound, right? Your goals should be time sensitive. And what I mean by they need to be time sensitive is I want you to put a date on things, and I want you to work your hardest to reach it by that date. And if you don't, I want you to understand that there is a time and a reason for that to happen, right? So I want you to remember that you want things to be time sensitive and time bound. When you work towards a deadline, the sense of urgency increases. The achievement will come much quicker when you're actually putting out that effort to have it reached by that time. So if you want silver in a certain amount of months, you get to look at what it takes to reach silver. You get to set those goals. You get to set that path. And then you get to truly dive into that space, right? Of this is what I'm doing, this is what I know I want, and this is what I know I will have in this amount of months. But by my actions, I will create it. So understanding your compensation. doTERRA, the business opportunity here that we have is very robust and immensely growing, right? While the vast majority of wellness advocates are focused on the use of essential oils for the benefits of their family and friends, there are also those that want to develop a profitable business by actively working and growing and achieving leadership ranks, right? So there's a significant earning opportunity, and I for one have experienced that. Like I said, that was one of my driving whys, and it still is, because there are bigger goals that I have. But I want you to understand that you can have an earnings here. So of course each wellness advocate, our results are absolutely dependent on our own efforts of what we put into our own business. Because this is not Susie's business, this is not Jackie's business, this is not anyone else's business besides Tia's business. So Tia right here has to put in that action to see those results that she wants to see. So understand that the results that you see in your business are not deemed by your upline. They're deemed by yourself. So if you're not reaching a goal, it's not because of your upline. It's not because your downline, your crossline, or your husband or your friends. It's deemed by you and what you put into it. So let's talk about the different ranks and commissions and compensation that you can see through that. So silver seems to be a very sought after rank, right? So 63% of the leaders in doTERRA are silvers. So making an average of $2,100 a month, right? That's awesome. For many, that has replaced their job, correct? So most silvers, depending on how they've structured and built their team, which we will talk about here in a little bit, are able to work 4 hours or so a day or less on some days and have their weekends off and know that if they need to, they can restructure their days and still know that they're making that income. It's still hugely foundational at any level that you are in your business to build your leaders and to support them and to connect with your team, because your team is the lifeblood of that residual income, right? And truly, if you're in this and you have no desire to support your actual team, then I want you to ask yourself why. Why are you here if it's not to empower, whether it be your family or whether it be others? If you're not here for that and you're only here for money, what's your bigger why? So where the money in these ranks is amazing, I still want you to understand that doTERRA is not about money. It's about changing lives. And it starts with yours. So silver, gold, platinum, diamond, blue diamond, and presidential diamond. If you hear of presidential diamonds out there that are double presidential or double blue, that means they have reached the rank of blue diamonds twice. So what I mean by that is they've created 2 organizations and built them both to create blue diamonds. So they have one blue diamond organization, and then to the side they have another blue diamond organization. If that is a goal of yours, do it. Amazing. Obtain that, and I will do anything I can to support you, because that is an amazing goal, right? Empowering that many lives. Can you think of the massive amount of lives that you would be changing at any of these ranks? Even at silver, think of the lives that you're changing at that point. Amazing. An amazing amount of lives that you are able to touch and your team is touching. That's a beautiful thing. So look over this slide and see what the average monthly earnings are, the average annual earnings, and the percentage of leaders, right? See the rank and let that help you in creating what your goal is. Because like I said, you've got all you need. You just get to do so. So fast starts. Fast starts allow all wellness advocates to earn us a bonus on individuals they share essential oils with, and then help enroll. So it's not just you sharing the oils, you do get to help them enroll and start empowering their lives through having their own wholesale account, right? So each wellness advocate wanting to earn a fast start needs to have 100 PV loyalty rewards order to participate. So to receive commissions, you get to have your LRP account, your monthly order account, set up at 100 PV each month, and you do get to process it before the end of the month. I highly recommend that you process before the 15th, but if you're just starting out and it is troublesome for you to do so, have it a goal to work your butt off to have your 100 PV order covered in commissions before the 26th of the month, right? The 26th is what I aim to be the last day of the month to process, especially if you're doing this as a business, right? So if money is tight and you're just starting out, set that as your goal and do not waver from it, because if you want to create $100 or more in commissions, you absolutely can in less than a month, way less. Some can do it in one party, in one class and educating. Others do it through one-on-ones. Others do it through both activities. It is absolutely doable. So each wellness advocate or fast starts are paid weekly on the PV from the orders of the new wellness advocates. Any order that they place in the first 60 days is what you earn 20% on, right? So the example here is Lisa enrolled Megan. Megan placed 3 orders in her first 60 days. The order of PV was 132 PV, 78 PV, and 147 PV. Lisa received a check for each of these orders equal to 20% of the PV. So the checks were $26.40, $15.60, and $29.40. Lisa has earned a total of $71.40 for educating and enrolling Megan. So right there with those 3 orders from that one person, she has already almost paid in totality her 1-month order, right? So if you help a new wellness advocate, you've enrolled, participate in the SHARE program also, you are encouraging them to not only receive free products, but also earn fast starts of their own, right? And when they earn fast starts, you do too. So Lisa is the enroller of Megan. So if you look over to the right, you'll see a green, blue, and orange figure. So Megan in this form would be the green. Lisa would be above her, invisible, okay? And then Megan would be green. When Megan enrolls somebody, say Megan enrolls Susie, Lisa then gets 10% of Susie's orders for fast starts for 6 months. So Susie enrolls someone, then Lisa, all the way at the top, invisible, will get 5%, right? And Megan, who's the green, will be getting 10%, okay? So that's how it works with getting your fast starts and being paid down a few levels in fast starts. So it's another way that doTERRA is very generous and assist us in getting our feet wet when we're first starting. And this isn't for the first 60 days of us. This is for as long as we're enrolling people and those underneath us are enrolling people, we will always get fast starts. So fast starts are cut weekly, right? So you get a weekly fast start check as long as you are enrolling. They're cut every Wednesday as long as you're enrolling or those underneath you are enrolling and active, right? So something to mention here while we're mentioning enrolling, something to bear in mind once you are reaching leadership ranks, you want to be sure that you are enrolling at least one person every 3 months. And I hope if you're in a leadership role that you're actively enrolling people every month. But if for some reason you aren't, be sure to always enroll someone every 3 months, right? Or your commissions and pay rank will actually go down, okay? So it's something to keep in mind. You need to enroll someone every 3 months. So let's talk about the power of 3. So the PO3 is when you teach the importance of the loyalty rewards program and develop structure necessary to qualify for the power of 3, then you will have the core structure needed to reach leadership ranks within doTERRA. A leadership rank in doTERRA is technically classified as silver and above. However, to reach Premier, you also do get to have individuals underneath you. So that, in my mind, is still classified as a leadership rank because you have taken the time to empower 2 individuals to also start empowering others, right? So the power of 3 is paid monthly. This is cut on at the same time as your unilevel check, which will be right around the 15th of every month or a few days after. 15th to the 18th of the month, somewhere in there is when they are typically always cut. And that is when you'll receive your large lump sum each month. So there are 3 power of 3 bonuses. There's a 50 structure, a 250 structure, and a 150 structure. Each can be achieved through structure and team volume. So once you have achieved your $50 bonus, it will benefit you most to help those underneath you build and cultivate others in your team at the same time, right? So doTERRA leaders teach individuals working towards qualifying for these bonuses to build out to a power of 4. So we're talking power of 3 because technically that's all it takes. But say Jackie isn't able to place a 100 PV order one month, and then you only have 2 people placing their loyalty rewards order and yourself, then you're not able to reach these structure bonuses. So if you have a power of 4 bonus, it increases your team volume and prevents you from missing your bonus if a team member fails to actually place their loyalty rewards order during that month. So here's a little graph for you. So here's Katie. Her overall volume is $651. So she then, because of the team overall volume and because 3 in her front line are placing a 100 PV order, she is eligible to receive her $50 structure of 3 bonus. Now then you drop down and you look, okay, can she be eligible for her 250? So if I was doing this in a live class, I'd actually have you guys answer this for me. But since this is just a recording this time, for sake of time and lack of audience, we're going to just walk through it. So Katie has her 3. She has her 50. Katie then can look at qualifying for her 250 by empowering her 3 leaders in her front line to assist her team or their individual teams in building and edifying and creating a bond and the knowledge needed for actually purchasing every month, correct? So under Jennifer, you see that she has a team volume of 636 PV. That means Jennifer is also qualifying for her $50 bonus, and her team is then an eligible leg for Katie's 250. Then we drop to Lisa and we see Lisa's team volume is 651, right? So then it's over 600 PV. Her 3 in her front line are placing over 100 PV LRP orders monthly. Lisa also is receiving her structure of 3 first $50 bonus. So that's a second leg for Katie, qualifying her for her 250 bonus. Then you drop down to the last, you see the team volume is 552. That person is short in their team, right? So they are short in their team 48 PV. So if by the end of the month that 48 PV is not accounted for and not tallied up, that team will not receive their $50 bonus, and Katie will not either, or Katie will not receive her $250 bonus. She will still receive her 50, but not her 250. So if you have any questions on the actual structure of Power of Threes, just send me an email or a comment, and we'll talk about it and expand upon that. So let's talk about structure. Understanding your team. one, one of the key factors in building a successful doTERRA business is knowing where to place new wellness advocates. This is a very, very big thing and something that most do not understand from the beginning. So it will benefit you and each new wellness advocate if you understand what their personal goals and intentions are. So if someone just wants to use the products and you are like, no, you're going to build, that doesn't jive, right? And it's not for us to decide and say, they only want to be a user, but I'm going to make them a builder. It's not for us to decide, right? It's for them to choose and us to empower. So knowing what their goals are will help you better understand how to educate and develop each new wellness advocate. You will also discover who is willing to support the users you need to place on your team. So placing team members, part 1. There are 3 levels of team members, and I often teach this because it is so important for those new builders out there to understand that there's 3. There's a user, a sharer, and a builder phase, and you get to understand where the mindset of each person is. So a user loves doTERRA and wants to be a wellness advocate for themselves and their household. They engage in learning about the profound benefits of essential oils and their health and wellness. They are willing to refer family and friends who show interest to doTERRA to their leader for information, right? So to that person who also assisted them. A sharer loves the benefits of doTERRA essential oils and wellness products and wants to casually share them with others. So interested in earning enough in bonuses to pay their monthly LRP or monthly loyalty rewards order, and are willing to host or invite individuals to an event taught by a doTERRA leader. So that is technically what a sharer is. That is not a builder. Some people get that confused, and a sharer is not a builder. A builder is interested in building a doTERRA business and supplementing or replacing their income. So like we said, to really get to a replacement of income, silver is that goal to shoot for in rank. So a sharer just does not haphazardly hit the rank of silver. They have to put some effort out into it, conscious effort into that. So they take the time to teach classes and introduce others to essential oils and the opportunity found in doTERRA. doTERRA users of doTERRA, users in doTERRA are more geared towards just understanding the product and using it for themselves. Sharers are geared to having their upline come in and teach a class for them and having a great time in that atmosphere and sharing with others. And then a builder is then, again, interested in building the business, replacing their income, uses doTERRA's learning tools to enhance their knowledge, right, of essential oils and the business side of things so they can best support their team members. That's a huge thing because if you are seeking to become a builder in doTERRA, it is not your upline or your crossline's responsibility to take care of your team. It is yours. It is our responsibility to take care of those that we've shared with. And sometimes that's hard to learn in the beginning, but it's a beautiful thing and well worth the time it takes to understand how to become a true builder. And your upline is there to support you. So if you are in my team and you are needing support to truly learn how to become a builder and how to empower yourself while empowering others, like I said, reach out. You just have to let me know, because although I'd love to read your mind and all, I just can't. So you'll have to get back with me on it. So builders are going to be the foundation on which you will be able to build a successful doTERRA business. For this reason, it is important that you place builders on your first and second levels of your organization. So let me expand upon that. you want to place those builders on your first and second level because your first and second level can assist you in reaching your goals and ranks, right? And that is because you will have enrollership of both people. So say that Susie enrolls and you place her on your front line. And Susie said she wanted to be a builder, but life has happened and she's not really building as fast as Megan, who you've placed underneath Susie. You have enrolled both people, but like I said, Susie's not really taking off, but Megan has. Megan has really taken off. So while Susie is still in the ramping up phase, Megan, while you're assisting her and Susie, Megan can actually help you reach your goals and ranks because you are the enroller of her. Okay? So that's how that kind of works and why it's mentioned to only place in the first and second levels with your builders. So sharers should be placed in your third level under your builders to assist them in reaching higher overall volume, so that builder can also encourage the sharer and empower them. And then users can be placed underneath the sharers because a sharer, again, is not out for the business necessarily, but they are out to still educate and assist others and to still create that empowerment needed for that user to be using their oils. Each level, no matter where you're at, is an amazing thing. Even if you're saying, oh, I'm only a user, that's perfect because that's where you're at right now. And that's a beautiful thing because you're changing your life. You're changing your family's life, your friend's life. You're changing lives around you because of your example, right? You're seeing health benefits, and that's truly what doTERRA is about, is seeing these amazing benefits both physically and emotionally. So it is not uncommon that a wellness advocate who begins as a user quickly moves into the role of a sharer or even a builder after experiencing the amazing benefits of doTERRA essential oils. And this I've seen countless times in my personal organization where someone says, oh no, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to buy my oils because I want to help you out. The person who said that to me is one of my #1 leaders in doTERRA, and she has empowered many, many, many lives through empowering her team and assisting her team in knowledge and growing themselves, right? So she started out a user and quickly became a builder in just a few months. So it's not uncommon for people to shift their mindset of where they're at, but just to understand that placement gets to be done in the first 14 calendar days after a wellness advocate enrolls in your organization. So in that 14 days, if they are saying I'm only a user, you get to place them as that. Unless your intuition is just saying, you know, Tia, I really have a strong feeling about this one. Let's take a gamble and keep them on my front line, or let's take a gamble and put them underneath one of my leaders. And I have done that, and at times it's paid off, and at other times it's just added overall volume, which is still amazing. So again, let's talk just briefly about, you have 14 days after you've enrolled your person to choose where they will be in your organization. That's very big because if you do not choose in those 14 days, then quite a bit of paperwork is needed to transition and move that person. Okay, so pay mind and attention to where you want them in your organization. So maintaining enrollership. When you place a personally enrolled wellness advocate directly under your team members, that team member becomes their sponsor. So sponsorship is important when referring to the power of 3 and commissions, which are based on structure, right? So power of 3 and commissions are based on structure and volume underneath you. When you place a personal enrolled wellness advocate under a sponsor and then yourself, other than yourself, you maintain enrollership still. Enrollership is important when determining fast starts and rank advancement, okay? So sponsorship is important when referring to power of 3 and commissions, and enrollership is important when referring to fast starts and rank advancements. So only gift enrollership when the sponsor has shown they're committed and support their team through teaching and mentoring. They have grown faster and stronger than the enrollee as transferring to them. So meaning also they have advanced in ranks that are needed for an enrollership, right? So briefly we hit on previously in the presentation about different ranks needing maybe people underneath them, or maybe just needing overall volume, right? So the first rank that you actually need to have those enrolled underneath you that have reached a certain rank is Premier, okay? At Premier, you need 2 executives underneath you. To be an executive, you need to have 2,000 overall volume. So say you've placed someone under one of your up-and-coming leaders, and you have that person's enrollership underneath your up-and-coming leader. For that person to reach their rank, they will need the enrollership of the person that you have placed underneath them, right? So that will also assist you in reaching your goals and ranks. But never hand over your enrollership unless that leader and that sponsor has then shown theirself to have earned that new person to be actually underneath them, okay? So enrollership belongs to the wellness advocate who contacted or shared doTERRA with that friend, okay? So if you bring a friend with you to a class taught by your upline, you'll be the enroller. Your upline can help you determine the best place for the new wellness advocate, but you are the enroller because you put out that effort to assist that person in coming to the class and educating them thus far, right? So when your team members refer a friend or family member to you, they may not be ready for enrollership yet, but their contact should always be sponsored under them. So if someone sends someone else to you and they're in your organization, whoever they have sent to you still gets enrolled by you and then placed under the person who referred them to you. That's just a way to keep things straight in your organization, and believe me, there's a learning curve that happens if you do not do this process. So depth versus width. So it's often talked about in the MLM structure, network marketing, that width is huge, right? Width. No. In doTERRA, depth is what it's all about. So you will have the opportunity to create a structure that will help optimize your earnings and push your rank. When considering where to place new enrollees and members of your team, this is wise to consider placing them under someone that can mentor and support them. Consider placing them in a position that helps structure your volume, okay? So although you may plan to be the primary supporter of one of your enrollees, you may find that they would be best placed under a builder or sharer who is in a key position on your team. That does not mean you can't still empower them or educate them. You absolutely can. But at times, it will help you reach a rank or truly be more beneficial to your overall team for Power of 3 structures, for fast starts, for commissions, etc. The Power of 3 teaches this concept by requiring structured depth as opposed to keeping all of your enrollees on the top level and building wide. So if you remember back to how to reach your power of threes, you get to have 3 in your front line, 3 under each of those, and 3 under each of those, right? So that is something hugely beneficial to look at when placing for structure, right? So doTERRA's unilevel pays out the largest percentage to those on your 7th paid level. This is because over time your team will be wider at that level than your top level. Because, again, like the power of 3 structure, doTERRA encourages you to empower others and to assist others by building deep, right? They don't encourage you to just enroll everyone and keep everyone to yourself. They really want you to empower and build others. And that's what it's all about. So this is because over time your team will be wider on that level than on your top level. So you receive your highest percentage on on the most advocates, right? So that's amazing. You get more compensation and more pay for all of the hard work that you're putting out there, or as I like to call it, heart work, because this business is not about just putting out your hardest, right? It's not about getting up at 9 to 5 and booking it. It's about a lot of heart time. You get to connect with people emotionally and communicate with them on that level and say, you know what, I'm here to serve you and help you. Let's find out what's best for you. So it's all about building deep and assisting others. So let's bust that pyramid myth. And what that is in MLM marketing, especially in doTERRA. I have those in my downline right now that on certain months make more than I do. They have at times. And then there are times where I make it, right? So where I make more. But I am never holding the CEO position. And why that is because I do not always make more, right? So in our concrete world, in our corporate market, right? The structure is very pyramid looking, right? And that is because you have a CEO on top, you have your VPs, you have your managers, and as Burke Rigby put it the other day, you have your minions. And it's very true. That is the structure of how things are done in our corporate establishments, right? So you have your CEO. The minions down bottom will never make what the CEO is making, right? Because you can't. It does not happen that way. Because you're on the bottom of the totem pole down there. In a doTERRA business, that is not how it works. You can be on the very bottom and still be making what 7 levels up above you is. Because that is how doTERRA is created. It's all about the time, the effort, the works, the knowledge that you put into your business. By putting in those, you can surpass anyone above you. You just have to be willing to put that in. Are you willing? And I want you to truly ask yourself, am I willing to put in what is necessary? So leader activities, daily, weekly, and monthly, okay? So daily, contact 2 to 3 people. Engage in 30 minutes of personal training. That can be through, maybe you pick up a book and read it for 30 minutes and it's edifying it for your business or self-development and improving your self-confidence, those sort of things, sales, leadership. Following up with contacts or class attendees using your doTERRA product. Okay, that's all to be done daily. Your contacts maybe you don't want to go out of the house that day, that's fine. Connect with some people online, call some buddies on your phone, or maybe you picked up someone's business card and you want to go ahead and empower them, right? So I want you to also look at weekly. Weekly, host 1 to 2 classes a week. Participate in 1 mentoring call and share 3 to 5 samples. Hosting a class can be in person and online. I always recommend having in-person classes each month. The connection that happens is much deeper and really an amazing bond can happen. But if you want to host, say, 2 classes a week, but that's not feasible for you to either get out of your house that time because you have some small kiddos, or maybe it's not comfortable to have people over to your house twice a week, then host 1 online class and 1 in-person class. That's amazing. If for some reason you aren't having a class that week, find someone to host a one-on-one with. Hosting one-on-ones can be highly beneficial, and some people need that extra connection, right? And sometimes what someone is sharing with you is very personal, and it needs the one-on-one time and space. So monthly attend training seminars, right? Team-wide, we have different trainings that happen every month for us. So if you need a list of them, just connect with your leaders. There are trainings out there that happen monthly for us. So participate in the Loyalty Rewards program and elevate your goals or evaluate. I want you to elevate and evaluate your goals truly, because say you have evaluated your goals and you're reaching them and you're doing awesome, and maybe they're not quite requiring enough of you, right? So it will push you to strive harder if you also look to elevate your goals. So the most dangerous leadership myth is that leaders are born, that they are genetic factors of leadership. That's nonsense. In fact, the opposite is true. Leaders are made rather than born. If you truly want to be a leader, say it, claim it, and create it. You are a leader if you choose to be one. It does not matter where you have come from. It does not matter where you were yesterday. It matters where you are today and who you are creating within yourself. So leaders are made. They are not born. Are you a leader? And are you going to create that? The challenge of leadership is to be strong, but not rude. Be kind, but not weak. Be bold, but not bully. Be thankful, but not lazy. Or be thoughtful, but not lazy. Be humble, but not timid. Be proud, but not arrogant. Have humor, but without folly. Jim Rohn is someone who can absolutely, books I encourage grabbing and picking up and reading some, because it's highly necessary to keep empowering and educating where you're at and building upon that, right? So be all of that, right? The challenge of leadership is to be strong but not rude, be kind but not weak, be bold but not bully, be thoughtful but not lazy, be humble but not timid, be proud but not arrogant, have humor but without folly. Be well-rounded, really. A leader is the best when people barely know he exists, when his work is done, his aim fulfilled. They will say, "We did this ourselves." If I have one prayer for my team and my leaders, I pray that you find out that you have done this yourself. Because no matter the guidance that I have given, no matter what I have showed up and given to you, or been in person with you, or given and delivered over the phone, through trainings, through mentoring, I want you to understand that also through my guidance, You have done this yourself. You have created who you are. You have created that dynamic team. It is not Tia who did it. It is you. And it is one of my greatest prayers that you will wake up one day and see that what you have created is what you have desired to create. So my wish for you is that you dive in and create that's supposed to be life, even if it doesn't say it. The life, business, and relationships that you deserve and desire, right? I want you to have that life. I want you to have that business, and I want you to have those dynamic relationships that you know that you deserve and desire. Because if anything through my why, if I have created anything at all, it is those things. I have created a life that I love. I have created a business and businesses, actually, that are thriving and succeeding and are changing lives daily. And I have created dynamic relationships with those that I never knew I would have relationships with. It is an amazing thing, and I know that I deserve and desire each of these, and you do as well. So my greatest wish for you is that you understand what you deserve and desire. You reach for it, you grab it, and you hold on so tight, and you allow your heart to just be filled, and you allow others to also live and share through that space. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. You have made my life a much more beautiful place. So until next time, I will talk to you later.